Thank you for joining us on WUSA 9 Plus for President Donald Trump's inauguration for his second term. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. Right now, thousands of supporters for President Trump are packed in Capital One Arena for his inaugural parade. It was scaled down to indoors, of course, due to the weather.
Yeah. That's right. This is the fourth coldest inauguration day in history. It's also the first time since Ronald Reagan's second inauguration in 1985 that oath has been administered indoors. But you know, President Trump said maybe they should continue to do that given how cold it was today.
Said it was nice and warm inside.
Yeah.
President Trump was sworn in as the 47th president of the United States at noon today inside the Capitol Rotunda you see right there. Now, while that was taking place, thousands of people sat in Capital One Arena to watch on the Jumbotron.
It's been a party in there. That's where our Matt Gregory is. As now the crowd is just waiting for the parade to begin and for President Trump to show up. Matt, bring us in there. How's the energy inside? We know, a few people have already taken the stage.
Yeah, I think the energy kind of goes in lulls or waves here, right? Like at one point about an hour ago, it really seemed like as the speakers were coming, I think the anticipation that President Trump was on his way here was kind of building, and with each speaker, we saw energy go, especially for Elon Musk, the tech billionaire who is an advisor to the president. So that was one of the things we started to feel. Right now, it's kind of reached a lull where I guess folks are probably wondering what the program is. I see a man, I can't show you, he's right off camera just over my photographer's head, who has both of his head in both his hands, just looking exhausted. People have been here all day. Some folks, like we talked to earlier, they got here at 2 in the morning. So earlier there was a Marine Corps band playing. There were some other, a little bit of pipe and drum bands playing throughout the arena. I also, while walking through the back area of the arena, saw a few marching bands. I don't know when they're supposed to come out because it seems like everything is on hold until President Trump is able to make his way here to do sort of an in the arena parade. But let's show you what you're looking at on the stage here, just to give you an idea. Everyone here in what's kind of like the pit just past the risers here has been waiting with bated breath for folks to come. Now, at that over there to your right, where you can see the lectern there, that is where folks were speaking earlier. Now, the issue is they were speaking up until about, I would say, 4 o'clock, and then they stopped. And now it's been kind of like music playing. We see different things showing up from the president's journey on the big screen, up top, Capital One Arena. But other than that, not a whole lot. To your left, again, I want to point, if you haven't been with us, I'm pointing this out, and I have for most of the day. You can see over there is a table that now has the presidential seal on it. And from talking to some folks, it looks like that's where he will be signing some more of the executive orders of the 200 or so he said he plans to sign today. Will be done there in front of this crowd. You can see every few minutes they'll stand up and look towards the entrances on the other side of the stage, thinking he might be on his way. And then if we can give one last look, Tom, up top, you can see there's still a lot of other things going on regarding the inauguration that are before President Trump can get here. And so they're able to watch on this big screen, and they'll cheer when they see someone they like, and they'll boo when they see someone they don't. And that's sort of how this has gone most of the afternoon. Now, we were able to talk to one of the speakers who was actually over here earlier. He just came by the media risers. His name is Byron Donalds. He's a congressman from Florida. We wanted to kind of get his perception of how he felt about how this whole event was going, and at the same time, what it was like to be up on that stage speaking to this crowd. Take a listen. We've never really seen an inauguration like this, indoor parade. What's the vibe? What are you thinking when you came in here?
Insane. Only Donald Trump can think about something like this in 48 hours. Look, we have a president who has a can-do spirit, no excuses. And so whether, blistering cold outside, bring everybody indoors and let's keep the thing going. But it's not just about, the pomp and circumstance. It's about the details and the focus. And I think what our country is going to see is a president who is committed to delivering. And he's going to make sure every tool is available to make that happen.
You were up there.
Yeah.
What was that like, speaking to this crowd in here? You're kind of warming up for him.
Oh, man, they're electric, man. It's in D.C., whether it's D.C., New York, the Bronx, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, it doesn't even matter, man. Anywhere we go, this energy is consistent. And I think it's because there's a desire for what this nation is truly capable of. And we know we have the vision and the policies to deliver that.
So again, that's Congressman Byron Donalds. He was just speaking with us briefly as he had a moment. He was popping around from interview to interview. I want to show you something else up top. Go show him again. The problem that we keep running into in here is you're hearing the music being played over this video, right? But they're not. The crowd wants to hear what's happening here, so they keep chanting audio every few minutes. They're still waiting on that. This is, of course, President Trump looking at the Marine Guard here and Capitol Police, it looks like, as well. We'll see exactly what happens, but it looks like we're behind schedule now by about an hour or so here. So that's what's going on in Capital One Arena. People wanting to see the president come here, speak at the stage, cheering when he shows up on the screen, but more than anything else, wanting to hear him come right here to Capital One Arena and give a speech and sign some executive orders. That's what it looks like here inside the arena. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Hey Matt, we know a lot of those folks have been waiting for hours now, and some of them may have camped out overnight to get this prime seat inside the arena to see the president a little later on. So what about the concession stands? Are they open? We know there are limits on what people could bring inside,
Right.
so how are they hanging on this long at this point?
Okay, so I've been out and about because I've also been looking for food, and some of the concession stands are open about half, and the lines are massive. They're about a half hour to 45 minutes each. I waited to get food for me and my photographer Tom, and that took a while. They've run out of soda at some of the concession stands, but there is water, and that seems to be sort of what it is. Half the concession stands are open, half are not, and you see vendors walking around selling sodas and water for the most part. But every one of those lines is also long.
Wow, we were just talking about that because if you've ever been to Capital One Arena, you know that the food is mostly on one level and everybody's got to try to kind of get down there to that one area to try to get the food. And these folks have been there sleeping in for a very long time. Well,
And
they clearly
also,
want to be there.
It answered my question too
Oh,
about
yeah.
alcohol in
Guys,
the
people-
arena. There's clearly, Matt, you said water like 4 different times,
That's
so I'm
right.
assuming soda and water.
That's called crowd control.
I think everyone is so thirsty because of how cold it is and everything that's going on there. The other thing I was just going to say is whenever I see people getting up to get their food, they will come back with like armfuls because I think they know once you get it, you're not going to be able to get back in that line. They feel like they'll miss something.
Wow. All right, Matt. Well, we'll come back to you when more of the action heads your way for sure.